Hello everybody, welcome back to Sorcery. We are about to reach Torpani. Let's see what's there for us. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torpani, slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Observe it. Torpani is a village of the Sven, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, maybe even more so than Birtante during the festival, but it seems strangely quiet. Go into town. Still, there is no way around it. You will have to go through. Into Torpani. You enter the village. There's a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svens are going about their business, slowly and miserably, and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. Let's make contact with the village. Let's see what's up. We're an adventurer, right? Maybe we can help these guys? You spy a group of Svens sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade. Hey, I met this assassin, you remark, boldly interrupting, out in the forest.
You met him? You still alive?
One Sven replies thickly. I killed him, you reply. The Sven spits a gob of green goop onto the ground.
You do good, but you one day late for us.
Another Sven bangs his hand down on the table.
But with Esh dead, who saved Tia?
Who's Tia?
Our flower.
The Sven who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail.
Tia is chief daughter,
the other Sven says.
Esh was to save her. Now Esh not alive. So Tia, soon, not alive.
What happened to her?
Goblins, they sacrifice.
Sacrifice? He is unsure of the word, so mimes a gesture like a stabbing downwards knife blade.
Yes, sacrifice to great cave demon.
Trouble is, another says,
our village die of chief line end. Tia's end. So if end ends, we end. How very sad.
Very sad, they all agree. Who you? One asks suddenly, as if only just thinking of it. He prods you in the chest. I'm a traveler. Traveler? A sly gleam enters the biggest one's eye. Great traveler. The greatest. Best is good. Make a tifa. He signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet, big hefty arms swinging for you. We take to chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily onto their shoulders. Where are you taking me? The Svens carrying you give no reply. Then you reach a low hut on the edge of the village. You're set down, carefully. Captured. It's okay. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens, and your possessions are thrown inside. Let's get some sleep. A few more minutes pass with no more movement. Figuring they will probably now wait until daylight, you put your head down to sleep. Oh, I can cast spells now. Ha-ha! Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh. And however much you toss and turn on the floor, you cannot quite get them out of your mind. Daybreak. Daybreak. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside, and then the door to the hut opens and 5 Svens come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name, Prozius.
Chief, I apologize.
Then he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. Apology accepted. The chief nods. He waves a menial who brings in bread and milk. It's usually milk and bread, right? You don't usually say bread and milk. Maybe you do if you're British. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Eat it. Hell yeah. Gratefully, you bolt down the mill. It does not seem to be poisoned and nourishes you. The bowl is removed, and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth.
I have need of you and your strength.
Tell me. The chief nods.
I shall.
My daughter, my child, she is taken. Offered to a terrible demon below. You want me to rescue her? The chief nods.
Succeed, and you may choose your reward. Fail,
And he shrugs.
I'll do it.
The chief nods.
I hope you will.
He gestures to the other Svins who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. Alright, a crack in the ground. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One Svin has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of the earth itself. So, last time I escaped from them and made my way to Khare with no further event happening. They did kill me a few times before I made it. You will pay me richly for this, take the adventure. Like I said, we're no pushover, we're no do-gooder. We will take adventure, but we will get paid for that goddamn adventure. You will pay me richly for this. The Svins nod. The chief replies,
We are poor, but we will try.
Good.
Watch the darkness,
he declares as they start to lower you down. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, trapped. Well, I feel like they could probably have given me a torch of some kind, or, literally any help to go save their princess. And they are man-orcs, by the way. I'm just like a female adventurer. I don't know what the fuck they expect me to do that they couldn't do. Perhaps not cry like a little baby. Maybe they would just all like cry the moment they're attacked. It's possible, I suppose. In any case, let us feel for the... So what do we do? Okay, you're thrown into a pit. You can't see. Do you feel the ground or do you feel the walls? I suggest probably the ground because you want to know what you're on top of. Whereas walls, you feel probably after you know what you're on. I don't know. You crouch down and feel around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It is a dry wood torch. Something else falls from above and strikes you on the head.
Tinderbox,
calls the voice. They could have just given it to me. I'm getting the impression that they're just dumb as fuck. That's the impression I'm getting. Feel around for the tinderbox. Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down and find the tinderbox. Light the torch. You strike a flame, and the torch blazes into flame. I really wanted to curse him, however, light is, I think, more important. I would, get that up as quickly as possible. Alright, so let's go below. Man, this looks like a fun adventure. Not. I would never do this in real life. I mean, maybe if it wasn't a fucking cavern underground with a demon, I might be like, yeah, I'll help out. I wouldn't go by myself for sure. And probably stay in the back and probably cry a lot when I was doing it. Just in general, not even like any for real reason. But, that's just me. Luckily, we're role playing. You can now see you are in a large cavern. Oh, really? Wide and deep. At the far end, passageway disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven rock fall at the far end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Listen by the rocks. You clamber over the rocks at the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It is whimpering, coming from the other side of the pile of stones. The Sven girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then the cave-in blocked off her path. You'll have to find another way to reach her. Why can't I cast spells? Is it because I typically have yawn at this point? The fucking hell? Why can't I cast the house spell? Sometimes this game. Alright, left, as usual. You go left and creep slowly into the darkness. Ears straining for the sound of the approaching threat. The passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. 2 stones are stacked on top of one another against the wall here. Let's examine the stones. There's nothing special about the 2 stones, except that they happen to be on top of one another. Alright, let's turn back for now. The square of sunlight lights up the middle of this cave. Wait, climb out of the hole. Hang on. Wait, what? You go left and creep slowly into the darkness. Ear straining, the passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. But then I turned around. What the fuck? Alright, I guess we go straight on. You push on further into the darkness. The passage rises up a gentle incline. At the top, a thick crystal seam glitters in the torchlight and the tunnel splits. Jesus fucking Christ, look at the crystal. The seam seems to be made of pure diamond. It was no doubt in quest of this that these tunnels were carved. But why is no one mining here now? Hell fucking yeah, get the crystal! You try to pry some diamonds loose from the incredible seam in the rock. But your sword is not up to the task, and you would only make it blunt. You could perhaps return with a proper pick, but only if you can escape these tunnels first. So let's see, left. You take the left passage. Here the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling as it about to fall and skewer you into place. You skirt between them, following a thin, safe path until a side passage opens on the right. And go straight on. You creep forward to the dark. The ground seems to dip, and its lowest point of passageway appears on your left. There's a stacked pair of stones here as well. So this is some kind of warning, maybe? The passageway appears on your left. Let's keep going. You move onwards along the tunnel. The tunnel twists and bends sharply, as if carved by a river now long since dried away. You lose all sense of which way is which, except to keep going forward. Where the passage you are following finishes at another fork. Another pair of stones are stacked in one corner. Go left. You slip through the opening in the left wall. The going is suddenly more difficult, and you realize that the tunnel is climbing at quite a sharp gradient. Little stones rattle and roll away downwards into the dark. At the highest point, the path you are creeping through forks again. As you enter, 2 stones roll away down the slope. Go left. The cave wall is crushing close, as though the rock is squeezing you to death. Your shoulders rub against the walls. Ugh, fuck. I'm a bit claustrophobic, so even just like reading this is making me nervous. When you feel certain you can go no further, the winding seam reaches a split. 2 more stones are stacked against the wall. Go left. You follow the passageway when you hear an echo of whimpering coming up the corridor. Your torchlight falls across a fell shape. Hiding in the shadows is the young Zen girl, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. Wonderful. Look for traps. You run the torchlight around the walls of the cavern. No switches or triggers that you can see. The girl watches you with silent fear, and then the torchlight falls on a deep scratch in the rock. A claw mark. Suddenly, there is a loud roaring from the mouth of this short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble. The Sven stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can head for it, the roaring sound is joined by a scream from the Sven girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels. Yeah, perhaps that's what it is. Something is coming. Something is coming. You hear... Oh, it's a Manticore. You hear the scrabbling sound of claws on rock, and the exit from the tunnel is blocked by a dark, looming shape. A Manticore. Huge. Terrible. It stands between you and the light, and howls in bloody rage. I don't even know. I can't even attempt to make whatever sound this would make. Alright, so magic the Manticore. With the infuriating Minimite no longer beside you, the world of magic is close to your fingertips once more. Yeah, sure is. So, what choices do we have here? F-O-G? What is this? Summon darkness. No, we don't want to do that. That's the opposite of what we want to do. This is the shield. Force field. I don't think either of those are really ideal in this situation. P-E-E. Let's P on ourselves. Cause strength. Fire water. I wonder if we can get all these spells in this part. I wonder if some of them you don't have any chance of finding along your journey. Causes clumsiness. I'm just seeing what my options here are. I'm probably going with the one that burns them alive. Cause slowness. Opens locks and doors. Wait, locks and doors. In any case, Whoa, I can't cast a fireball. Huff. Create wind. Why can't I? Hello? Oh? What the fuck? God damn it. Alright, what was my option then? Foff? Dumb? Slowness? Let's try slowness. No, not clumsiness. What was the slowness? Doze. Yes. You cast the spell quickly. The creature makes half a turn, preparing to swing its stinging tail at you, but then it pauses and shakes its head, and the old man's face beneath its mane crumples into a frown. The old man's face. It is as though something has struck it square in the forehead. You have slowed it down. If you draw your sword now, you will have an advantage, or you have gained yourself more time for further sorcery. Let's see if we can now cast Fireball or something. Hot. Yep. Okay. What's our other options, though? Gob. Summon a goblin. Requires a goblin's tooth. Ooh, okay. We don't... Why would I want a goblin? When I can get a... giant! So far, the giant seems pretty good. Mud. Quicksand. I don't think I can cast this, though. Requires sand. And I never went and got the sand. Is that everything? I think so. Alright, so what's better, Fireball or Giant? I'm thinking let's go with the Giant. What's A? Yep. Talk with animals. Wonder if I could talk to the Manticore. Damn it. I'm trying to go back, you asshole. There we go. Alright, Yob, let's use our Giant's Tooth. You drop a Giant's Tooth onto the floor and quickly cast your spell. A cloud of smoke gathers around the tooth, and as it clears, a large giant stands in its place, head stooped by the cavern roof. He is armed with a spiked club and sets about the Manticore with loud crashing blows. Stay back. You stay back, desperate to avoid the deadly flinging tail. The fight is titanic, with the giant's incredible strength and the Manticore slow and lumbering under the effects of your spell. For a moment, you think this is the end. The giant lands a colossal blow, but then, with two accurate flicks of its sting, the Manticore catches the giant first in the side and then in the head. Your champion falls and hits the rock floor with an enormous crash. A moment later, he's nothing but a puff of smoke. The Manticore roars, making the walls of the chamber shake. But listening closely, you can hear a note of fear in its too human voice. It is still a beast of ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You have to make this next and final spell matter, or take it to task with your sword. Alright. I think it's poisonous, so I don't want to be hit by it ever. So let's see what this... We're going to zap him. What's this? Zip? Teleportation. I don't think we can get all of these in this round. I don't know. Lightning! Summoning all your concentration, you weave the spell, creating a lightning bolt that bristles in your palm until you fling it towards the creature. It strikes the Manticore full in the face, its mane catching alight. Crackles of energy streak along its back to the tail, which turns black and explodes in a fountain of mucus and shell. The Sven girl shields her head, and so do you, but nothing can protect your ears from the dying screams of the cave demon. It is shouting loud enough to bring the walls down, cursing in a guttural human tongue. Now, we're going to finish it just like we always do. You step forward and plunge your sword into its heart. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Sven girl. "Thank you," the Sven girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. "This way." She leads you towards the light, through a gap in the rocks to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Escape! You wave the torch, hoping to attract attention. Tell the girl to call up. "Girl, call to your father." The Sven child nods mutely, then bawls at the top of her lungs. "Prometheus, I'm here!" Then something drops down, a rope with a basket on the end. "Get in together," the chief calls from above. "We'll pull you both up." Yeah, getting in. You kidding me? You step into the basket and help the girl to clamber in with you. "Ready!" The Svens above begin to haul. The rope stretches and grows taut, but the basket doesn't move. The rope starts to make a squealing noise, and the basket lifts a finger width off the floor. Alright, we're going to let the little girl go first. Jesus. You step out of the basket and call up, "Haul away!" The Svins give a great cry and begin to pull again, and this time the basket starts to slowly rise, spinning as it grows. The girl waves to you as she disappears up in the sunlight. Then she is gone. I don't think they'd be the type of they haven't shown to be the type of people who would just leave me here. I mean, they're obviously pretty callous to just, because they do force you into this. But I think, given that I've saved her, let's see what happens. A minute passes, nothing. Call up. "Throw down the rope!" Nothing. The tunnel echoes very slightly, a noise from the depths. Perhaps the Manticore was not alone. Wait a little longer. You wait a little longer, settling down on your pack. You can imagine the celebration going on above ground. The tears and grateful reunion. No surprise if they lose track of you down here in the dark. And then, sure enough, the basket and the rope tumble down. You clamber quickly in and they haul you up. Above ground, the chief himself helps you out onto the grass. His daughter is with him, clutching his hand.
"My daughter tells me you fight bravely," he says. "For that I am grateful. I invite you with us back to Torapane. Will you come?"
Sure, why the fuck not? I deserve some booze and women and men and, not any of these women or men, though. A little generosity cannot hurt you. You nod. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration. Oh, look at this. 2020 stamina. Fuck yeah. You're given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. Imagine if I had Yondo with me. That would fucking be terrible. I would die. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, it is to find the village, before so somber and silent, now in full life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop, and bands of Svins are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. You are whisked away into the dance by Proteus' daughter, before the chief can welcome you to the feast. The night is glorious. That night, you sleep heavily, and rise the next morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go.
"My good friend," he declares, "you have saved us."
He presses 2 gifts into your hands, a pouch of 10 gold pieces. Whew. A fortune for a place like this, and a key.
"Just open the south city gate of Khare," he tells you. "I hope it is use."
Oh, I bet it will be. Time to go. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torapane, and soon you're on a downward slope, away from the Shamatanti hills, through stepped rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Khare is a busy city, it is cruel, and beyond Khare, there is nothing but the vicious wasteland. You have no one to trust in the days ahead. Walk on. In the distance rises the wall of a great city. The first true stonework you have seen since the ruins of the giant city in the hills. Let's fucking do it, guys. We're fucking made here. 28 gold, 20 stamina. Fuck that other playthrough. I made it really quickly, but your journey through the Shamatanti hills is completed. Along the way, you have made no useful friendships. Debatable. But have been given 2 useful keys, to the cells of the Red Eyes and to the gates of Khare. Oh, I forgot I had the other key. You have collected 1 magical artifact, a cloth skull cap. You are armed with a long sword and your original sword, and have no rations and 28 gold pieces and a spellbook. The adventure continues in Sorcery 2, Khare City Portal Traps. So part 1 is supposed to be the worst of them. So I'm very excited to try the next ones out. I'll probably take a couple day break before I do so. Give time to start getting these episodes up. But yeah, let's save to the cloud. We're going to write down our cloud spell save name. That's it's actually the same as my last one. What the fuck? Bovami? That's the exact same as my last. That's going to be really annoying. Anyways, I'll hit continue. And I think that'll do it. Thanks guys for watching. Join me for part 2 if you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it a lot. I've played it through twice now, so clearly I've enjoyed it a lot. And if you watched all the way through, I assume you did as well. So thanks a lot guys. This has been a lot of fun. See you next time. Bye.